YouTube! Welcome to Rhibear Plays Pillars of Eternity. I am super excited about this game. I'm a big fan of isometric RPGs. I love story, I love adventure. Divinity Original Sin came out about a year ago. That one's one of my favorites. Old Baldur's Gate and games like that, so really excited about this one. Just a heads up, if you are not that much into story or adventure, getting immersed in the lore, then you are in the wrong place. I'm probably going to read a lot of the journals out loud, get really immersed in the world of this game, so if that's your kind of thing, then I hope you enjoy the video, and let's dive in. So there are a couple of different difficulty modes. Path of the Damned. I'm gonna go with normal.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern is only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
So that was pretty cool. I do like the prologue. I know a lot of this game does have some voice acting to it. Alright, so we are now in character creation. I'm hopefully not going to take too long in here. I already kind of know what character I'm going to build. Normally I take forever in character creation. I love reading all the descriptions and playing with the appearance of my character, but just so you guys can kind of see everything, I will click through so you can see the different options that are available. So we have our male and our female. Definitely going to go with a girl on this one. And so we have 6 different races in Pillars of Eternity. You have human, Almawa, which are these water-dwelling creatures. They really make me think of Avatar, though. Got dwarf, elf, Orlin, which are kind of like little halfling type creatures, but they're also a lot more elven. And then the godlike, which are really freaky looking things. So I typically go elf in these kind of games, but I am really enjoying these unique races, so I'm gonna do Orlin. Got resolve +1, might -1, but perception +2. And there are 2 different sub-races, Hearth Orlin and Wild Orlin. I'm gonna go with the Hearth Orlin. And there are 11 different classes in this game. There are tons and tons of options, different playstyles and that sort of thing. I had originally looked at doing a chanter for a bit, but they're more of like a bard character. I've never really been a big fan of playing a bard class, especially in D&D and that sort of thing, so I'm going to roll a rogue. And we've got 2 different abilities to start with. Crippling Strike. The rogue attacks his or her enemy's ability to move around effectively, inflicting extra damage, hobbling an enemy successfully hit, and then Blinding Strike, which does essentially the same thing, but it does extra damage and blinds the target. So we're going to go with Crippling Strike. And then of course we have our skill points. So the ones with the little stars, these gold stars, these are our primary attributes for our character, and the perception and intellect are going to be secondary for our character. We have 15 points to spend, so of course we definitely want more dex, more might. I do want to be able to stay alive, so I'm going to put a couple of points into constitution, and I'm also going to put some extra points into perception. Let's do one more might. But I definitely want to be able to have that reflex, be able to spot traps and that sort of thing. Alright, and then we have our culture. This is our background. Your culture and your different stats and that sort of thing, they influence the dialogue choices you have available in this game. So depending on where you're from and your race and that sort of thing, you're going to have different things that you can say depending on your background. I really like that. I read through all of these when I was first going through character creation. They've got some really cool backgrounds, and each area you can be from has a little bonus. But I'm going to go with Deadfire Archipelago. Consisting of the nation of Nesitek, dozens of Almawa settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea, Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Almawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible, and this gives our character a +1 to Dex, which of course as a rogue is definitely helpful. And then we have our background, so you can see Deadfire Archipelago and then where that background is. So we're going to go with Explorer. It's going to give us lore and survival. And these are, like I said, these are the type of things. These give you different dialogue choices. They also influence your knowledge and that sort of thing. So, right. Now we're going to get into our character's appearance. So this color scheme here, this primary and secondary, they actually stay with you throughout all of your choices. So even when you switch gear, it's going to apply those primary and secondary colors to that gear later on. I tend to be drawn to dark saturated colors, but I do like the contrast. And I think that's going to look cool across a lot of different sets of gear. So I'm going to go with that. And then let's see. Ooh, I can be blue. I didn't go quite this far. When I was first playing around, I was just looking to see, okay, you know, what customization options are available. I don't want you guys to have to sit here forever through this. I'll go with the darker hair. Head options. Definitely like the second head. And what do we got for hair? Oh, the mohawk is pretty cool. Let's see. I think I like that one. So, and then of course your portrait's going to represent you with your party and conversation, that kind of thing. They have tons. I mean, as you can see, there's 66 of them. But of course, they're not all going to match me. You know, you're going to have the different dwarves. This art is just absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, like, you know, there's your godlike. He does look pretty cool. So I'm going to assume halfway through this is when the women start. Okay, so you know, they're the men of my particular race, the Orlans. We got the different dwarf women, elven women. More of the godlike. They seem to have a lot more portrait variety than the men do. That's interesting. Alright. So I guess I'm just going to go with this purple-eyed chick they gave us to start with. I just wanted to flip through and see what was there. And then now I need to choose my voice. So let's see, I have, what, 5 female options, male options, and then none. Well, I don't want to have no voice.
Oh?
I shall lead us. Let us end this!
Quickly and quietly. Eh? I've got this.
Easy now. Leading the way. Take him down!
Steady does it.
Huh? Follow me. A blade in the dark. Well?
Let's see, I'm an explorer from the island, so
Follow me.
I'm probably a bit hardened.
Easy now. Leading the way.
Nice and slow.
I think I like
Yes.
noble. Let's go with noble. Enter name. Rhibear. Alright. Pretty happy with what we put together. Let's get into it. Caravan Master Odima. The Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there. Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
As the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you
Touch of the
over.
rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it.
Right, because I'm sick.
You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case you'll be dead in a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna let let's avoid that.
There's a berry
I don't wanna
grows in
die.
these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
Okay.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. Let's see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Alright, so that's him talking to Sparfle. Alright, let's see. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Okay. Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business.
Good to
And
know.
not if the weather holds up.
That's worrying. Okay, let's see what this says.
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowig, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Okay. Your character's attributes, skills, class, race, culture give you different options in your dialogue. So we talked about that earlier when I was in character creation. What are those
Nothing
ruins?
you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear. Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Okay, and what are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Interesting.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go see about those berries
Hold on.
then.
Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. If you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
She needs to find some spring berries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead. That is reassuring. Thanks, Odima.
No promises.
Huh.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Good point.
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
I like Kalisha. She's got sass.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Okay.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Alright, so a moment's respite. That's our new quest. Need to concoct a remedy. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Eora, you might want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools and interfaces available to you. Your party always consists of your character and up to 5 additional companions or adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside the Glenfathan ruins, Obdima has assigned Kalisha to help you. Kalisha is a fighter, class that excels at close quarters defense. Use her abilities to complement your own. So we should make a good team, rogue and fighter. To select a party member, click on their selection circle here, their portrait down in the corner, or press the number button that corresponds to their position in the party, starting with one to the left. So she's going to be number 2. So if I hit 2, that'll pull her up. 1, 2. Okay. Select multiple party members, click and drag. Move selected characters to walk. So it's probably... Okay, so I have her selected, so it's going to move her. And then if I select both of us, we're both going to walk. Okay, cool, cool. Action bar is hidden when multiple party members are selected. Select only that character for both. Okay. So he said I needed to talk to Hayden, I think he said his name is. Caravaner. Caravan Life doesn't agree with you, does it? You look as raw as that merchant, Hayden. Okay. So, let's see. Inventory. So I've got some base gear already. I have some base armor and some weapons. So does Kalisha. We both have 100 in currency. I'm assuming copper pieces. Hey.
Anyone need supplies? I've got...
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles, so it's covered with uneven stubble as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Okay, so I got a couple of different options. We might as well try. They don't look like that. I'm sure you'll do well. If you think these caravanners are prickly, watch out for those axe wielders Obdima mentioned. And how incredibly naive. I think I'm gonna be a fairly optimistic little girl, so let's go with that. You now have 1 rank and a disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. That is cool. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad. The main character is a priest or paladin, you have to be careful. That is really interesting. I really like how that's structured. Okay. We'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do right by my family.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Let's see what you got. So I've already got base gear and stuff. I don't really need any weapons. Yeah, so I have copper, like I thought. If you sell something, you may see it in the store's inventory at a much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories, comma. Okay. Party. Stash. Okay. So I can sell from the party, from the stash. I wonder how much stuff I can hold in my stash. That's pretty cool. I don't really want any weapons or anything like that. And Kalicia's got a torch. So I don't know if I need a torch. I only have 100 copper to work with. Let's get some lockpicks. Let's see. 38, so I can afford 2 lockpicks. I guess we will work with that. Question mark? Oh, that's cool. Alright. Let's close under that. Do you have anything else cool to say?
Looks like we're settled for the night.
Yeah, I'd better go. I should probably go find those berries before I die. Is there anything over here?
Indeed.
One thing I've got to get used to in this game is navigation. Caravaner. All kinds of beasts in these woods, and then you have the tribes. So I'm a lot more used to games that I can navigate clicking and dragging, and these you can just click. There might be an option for click and drag, but I don't have anything. Orland's Cradle. That's cool. Okay, so let's open up our map. So Hieron's over here. We already talked to him. It looks like there really isn't going to be much this way, and if you look, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's wagon tracks there over here, so I'm going to follow those. He said it shouldn't be much past the road. Alright, so I'm going to cut the episode here. When we come back, we're going to go find those spring berries so that I don't die, and see if we can find Sparful, because he's supposed to be getting water for us. Thanks for watching.